everybody, surprise extra video. I told a lot of you on the live stream that I was considering talking about this, and so here I am to talk about it. Let's just get into it. There has been a lot of chatter online about something called the Blue Whale Suicide Challenge. If you haven't heard about it, you can Google it, you can read about it yourself, but I want to tell you in as short a way as possible what it is. Now, the Blue Whale Suicide Challenge is essentially a group online where an administrator tells you what to do each day for 50 days. And these tasks can start as simple things like watch a horror movie or scare a friend or something that may be kind of difficult, but it's not something that we wouldn't normally do. And they progressively build up to the 50th day where they tell you to kill yourself. And there's been a lot of chatter about whether or not this is why there have been increased suicides in Russia, in the UK, if this game is to blame for a lot of the suicides in the last 6 months. And that is all unknown. People aren't really giving full information about it, but that kind of gives you an idea in a nutshell what the Blue Whale Suicide game is. And if you want to read more about it and you want to have all the information and all the details, I'll link to a couple of articles that I found so you can read more. But like I said, a lot of it is just hypothesized. People aren't speaking clearly and openly about what it is. And some people even say that, yes, these things exist, but those who are drawn to it are already suicidal. So can we say it really caused the suicides? And everybody just kind of comes out with no real answer. But what I want to talk to you about today is not only suicide, but also something that's called grooming. Because after reading through the articles and learning about the Blue Whale Suicide game, what it sounds to me like is that this game or this group online is really grooming people. Now, grooming is actually an abuse tactic. It's a manipulation that happens a lot in childhood sexual abuse. But to give you an idea of what grooming really is, it's when someone starts off by spending extra time with you, doing things that may be kind of uncomfortable, but not that bad, and progressively building so that any kind of uncomfortable situation is given enough time to where we don't think it's uncomfortable again. Does that make sense? Like a good example would be, let's say, and this is terrible to say, but let's say that a coach of yours is grooming you for sexual abuse. So that coach may have you stay after a lot to go over your routines and to try out different techniques and teach you new techniques and improve parts of your performance or whatever it is you do. And they may start by just touching you on the shoulder or moving your leg to help you turn better, to get a better, like let's say it's softball, to get a better swing. And they'll come up right behind you and swing with you. And they'll start to do things that if someone just came up and did that to you and they don't know you at all, you'd be like, oh, get away from me. But it's your coach. They're spending extra time and they give you reasons why they're doing this. And this would progress from, oh, let's stay extra, I'll coach you one-on-one. It could move into, hey, I forgot that bat that you were wanting to try. Can we swing by my apartment? They have you come into their apartment. And that may feel weird at first, but then, it's something that's kind of normal. Then they may progress to, oh, I need a shower before or after, and then I'll take you home. You can see how it kind of moves from things that aren't quite so uncomfortable into things that are more uncomfortable, but they're given time until we feel like that behavior is quote unquote normal for us. And another term they use for grooming is called trauma bonding. And it is because we slowly become used to this person, we spend a lot of time with them, we start trusting them and bonding with them. And some signs that I want to make you aware of if you're a parent of a child and you're worried that something like this may be happening. Notice if your child is being extremely secretive. I know that can be hard when they're teens, but just notice if they're not doing the things that they normally would do, or they're spending time with friends they never used to hang out with and they don't want to tell you anything about it. If grooming is happening on its own and it has nothing to do with this Blue Whale Suicide game, they may have new clothes, new gifts, a new phone, because oftentimes when children are being groomed by older adults, they'll buy them things as a way to keep them emotionally connected and to reward them. Luckily, there's a lot that we can do. If we fear that we're being groomed or we've in some way been, coerced into joining some of these Blue Whale Suicide games, or if we're being groomed by someone like a coach or a teacher or a family member, there's a lot that we can do. And the first is talk to somebody about it. Talk to a friend that you trust, a family member you trust, another adult who isn't involved in this, who you can talk to about what's going on and how you're feeling. I know it can be hard to open up and to reach out, but no, you're not alone. This is so very common. And the sooner we reach out to someone, the sooner we talk about it, the safer we will be. The second is that you always have the right to say no and assert yourself. It doesn't matter if they are holding something against you, saying that they'll share it. You can report them, and sharing anything like that against your wishes is potentially illegal depending on where you live and how old you are. So know that you always have the right to say no. You can always assert yourself and you can always back out. I don't care how far you've gotten into it, you always have the right to stop at any given moment. The third is spend time with friends who aren't involved in stuff like that. Friends who have said no. Maybe you had a close friend who was like, I don't want to be involved with that person. Reach out to them. Talk to them. Spend time with people who are confident and can assert themselves, because it truly can rub off. And the fourth tip, if you aren't feeling able to reach out to someone in real life, there are a ton of resources available anonymously. Like the crisis text line. If you are in the States, texting help or start or hey to 741-741 is a great way to get some support. Also, I will link in the description a link on my website that opens a page full of all the hotlines across the world. That's a great way to reach out and to talk to someone 24/7. No matter what time of day it is, no matter where you are, you can reach out and you can get the support that you need and deserve. I know you may feel hopeless. I know that it can feel like you're in a dark tunnel with no light at the end of it. But trust me, there is help available. There are people out there. There are professionals like me who want to help, who want to listen. Know that you are not alone. We are here rooting for you. Things can and will get better. And if you know someone who's struggling, if you have a child that you worry about, start talking about it. Know that it's okay to talk about suicide. Speaking up about it isn't going to make them want to do it more. We're not going to put that thought in their head. Trust me, talking about it sooner rather than later is always best. And like I said, there'll be resources in the description if you are out there and you're struggling, and I will see you next time.